Good afternoon and Merry Christmas, everyone. Today I'm going to show you a pretty new feature of Apache Druid that we can use to ingest aircraft data from an ADS-B receiver that is running on a Raspberry Pi. This receiver sends data in an interesting format where date and time that form the timestamp for Druid are in two different fields, and it was not so easy until now to bring these fields together, but I'm going to show you how you can do it nowadays with Apache Druid. My name is Selma Becker. I'm a solution engineer with Imply. Okay, let's get started. We want to ingest these data that I have been sending from my Raspberry Pi to Kafka in Confluent Cloud. And for that, I'm going to use the Load Data Wizard of Druid. I'm going to start a new specification, and I'm going to load from Apache Kafka. So I need to insert the Apache Kafka connection data here. Now, because I am using a secured cloud instance of Kafka, I have to enter my consumer properties, which looks a little bit like this. I've of course blurred the sensitive information here. So I've prepared this already, and I'm going to copy and paste the consumer properties into this little field here. And then you see it is also automatically updating the Bootstrap servers. Also, I need to tell Druid which topic that I want to ingest from, and this topic is called ADS-B-raw. And then I'm good to go. I'm going to ingest from the start of the stream, and it will take a moment, and then I can already see my data. As you can see, these are CSV data, and the timestamps. This here is the time and date of event generation. They are in two different fields. Also, I need to tell Druid the field names that I want to use, and I've prepared those as well here. So let's paste these here, and then you see in a moment that I'm already ready to parse the field. Now about generating the timestamp. This used to be that you had to pick a single column here. But nowadays, I can instead use an expression, and with that expression, I can concatenate the date and time of my timestamp that I find in the message. So let's take a closer look at this. I'm using timestamp parse, and I'm concatenating the DMG, date of message generation, and the TMG, time of message generation fields. And then I'm parsing them using the usual date and time mask that matches the data that I find here. And so I am good to go. I go through my usual transformations, filters, schema configuration. Here I would want to apply a few changes because some of my IDs that are coded as numbers should actually be interpreted as strings so that I can use them as dimensions and that I can make advantage of the indexing and compression features of Druid. So let's do this with a few of our fields. There's also a couple of fields in the back, like latitude and longitude, and also the altitude. That should be numbers. Let's check that. That looks good. And I'm going to partition my data by hour, and then I'm basically good to go. Let's read from the beginning of the stream. And there we are. Now I could edit my specification, and I could from here go ahead and start the ingestion process. In fact, I've done the same thing already, and you can see here in Imply Pivot Imply Pivot is the real-time exploration front-end that Imply made for Druid. And in this front-end you can see how I ingested data from the aircraft flying over my house in the recent time. So let's look at the different aircraft that we have found here, and let's, for instance, look at the latest hour, and I would go and break down by individual aircraft and how they have been flying over time. This is just counting the number of events. No, this is counting the number of events. But if I pick the altitude as measure, then I get a height profile of all the aircraft that have been flying over my house. And with that, I conclude my little demo, and I wish you a happy, Merry Christmas and a very good 2021. Thank you.